the company, or the part of the company I'm responsible for, three units: one in the Netherlands, one in France, and one in Prague, in Czech Republic. They're pretty old companies they're in the compressor business. The company in the Netherlands has been established since 1906. The company in France is 1884.
Wow.
And the one in Czech Republic, even older, 1854. And we have about 600 employees in those three units, and we're part of the Hoven group in Scotland. And Hoven is an engineering business for gas and air handling. It's a bit of a funny story because there is a lot of influence on startups over here in the Netherlands. People are really focusing on these startups. And the issue with the startups is that they remain very small. So there was an article in the newspaper, in the Dutch newspaper, about the gazelles. So I decided to look it up in the internet, to write to the gazelles, and then I got in touch with you. So the key area why I was interested is actually the same as the startups. We are struggling for growth, and I wanted to have some support for our team and myself to grow the company. That is a good question. I think we are in two ways. I think the team is much more focused and engaged, and the other part is that the team there is more team spirit. Let me start with the last one. The individuals are comfortable with giving each other feedback, more feedback. They're focused on values. They are identifying issues. If someone is a bit cranky in the group, or he is not happy with the progress, they are comfortable to bring that up into a meeting. Someone or two or three persons say, "Henk, can you put that on the agenda?" Then I even take a step back, right, and they do the talking themselves. I don't even have to lead that. I think that is a big change. And also a big change is the focus on the values. That's been remarkable for us. So there's more trust, there's more team spirit, and because of the weekly meetings, there's much better alignment, I think, in the team. The way I used to work with is much more in the details, so I'm able to delegate more. Mm-hmm. I have a focus like 12 to 16 months out rather than like the next quarter only. The team is much more focused on the 3 months out, so I only have to guide that. So that has changed me a lot. Somehow, I think it was about 3 or 4 weeks in the process already, I got the feeling I had more time on my hands. And it's not every week, but certainly I have more time to think about work and how to go forward. I think what we did in the past, if we had a strategic initiative, we would say, okay, this is the action going forward. We agree on the action. Yes, we agree. And now typically what happens one or two times, and then it falls off the action list in the management team meeting. And 3 or 4 months later, someone remembers, comes back on again. We haven't done anything about it, and now we can continue. One of the key initiatives for us is to increase margin in the project management area, and because this comes back into a meeting every week. Mm-hmm. We're still struggling with increasing the margin, but now already we have seen an uptick in that individual project, I think about 3%, and because our projects are so big, the 3% is quite substantial. So the return is actually bigger than the investment we've done already. For me, it's the thing we're working on, like the consolidation between the 3 companies, which is a massive cost reduction in order to keep the profit at the same level. Mm-hmm. That is really important for us. And the other part, I still think that one of the key things for us is, and also an opportunity, is our growth. Mm-hmm. really good products. We only have a small percentage of the market. It's really tiny.
Mhm.
I do see an opportunity, even when the market is going down a bit. I do see big opportunities for growth. And if we keep our rigor and discipline like this, this will happen. So both on the consolidation and on the other side, the growth plans, like 50% bookings for the next year must be possible. Well, one of the key things, and to get me over the line, to be honest, was a call we had early in the year. It was my holiday at that time. I think it was the first week of January or something like that. And I was in France at that time. I was outside because it was very noisy inside. I was freezing. It was freezing cold, and you just kept asking questions for more details. And those questions really made a difference for me. Well, this is not something like an outside consultant coming in, but this is really something different. You focus on the right things, and you have shown in the path going forward as well. And it's just not only results, right? It's also about people, the team. So the individual steps might be seen very, very simple, but it is very complicated to bring it all together. And your help, for example, to be on top of the meetings. When we have a weekly meeting, you're in that meeting, whether this is by call or live, to keep us going. So you are very dedicated and committed. But that first meeting and understanding the business and actually the way you are asking questions gave me an understanding how you guys work. For me, that was the eye-opener. Yeah, one of the key things that I would say is, well, actually two things. And I forgot to say as well, you guys have done this before in your own company. So it's not like you're outside consultants, you come in and then you go away. This is your working life. This is what you do day to day. And you can feel and you can see that. And that makes a big difference. And the other thing is that, and that's surprising actually, you can do that anywhere. So you guys are in the US, you make the trip coming over here. I know there's culture differences between Europe and the US, but there's even within Europe there's culture differences. But it doesn't matter at all. You can do this anywhere, and that I think it's a big plus. And I think it's great the way we're going forward.